AITA for not picking a side when my two sons argue. My son Ben came out as bisexual a couple years ago. Most of our family accepted him. Although I know he disliked some of our actions when he came out. We are still in contact with familiars or friends that didn't accept him. We tried to be as supportive as we could. And a bit after he came out, he introduced us to his boyfriend. He was a really sweet guy and clearly loved our son. However, about a year ago, some rumors, apparently spread by my other son James, said that he used to be a woman. We didn't believe it, but eventually Ben confirmed that his boyfriend was trans. And I admit it was quite shocking and hard to process. This also kinda ruined the relationship between our sons. Now to the problem itself. Yesterday we decided to have a small gathering with the four of us. Me, my wife and our two sons. We ate a delicious meal. We talked a lot. In general, we were having a good time. I could tell that there was some tension between our sons, but I thought that they could handle it. Then I decided to ask Ben, what is his boyfriend doing now? Quote. To which James replied, yeah. What is she doing? Quote. This immediately angered Ben. So they started insulting each other. Luckily, I managed to change the subject and tell them to calm down before they started an actual fight. After James left, Ben confronted me about this. He was angry that I didn't defend him or at least say something to James. Now, I agree that what James said was rude, but it was Ben who insulted his brother and worsened the situation. So I don't think it would have been right for me to defend or pick a side. But he didn't see it that way. He told me that, either you do something or I won't visit again. Which hurts me a lot. Since then I have not talked to either of them directly. But apparently the rest of our family is choosing sides. Ben is still very angry at me. And although I understand why he was angry at his brother, I think he is being unreasonable with me. YTA. This isn't arguing. This is one son bullying the other. What a dreadful parent you are in not supporting your son. By not shutting down your bully son, you are tacitly agreeing with him and creating a hostile environment for your other son. WRT. Staying in contact with family that doesn't support your son. YTA again. When my kid came out as trans and gay, I refused to have anything to do with family that wouldn't treat my child with respect. I wanted my kids to feel supported and safe. YTA. As the parent of a bisexual son, or a decent human being, how can you condone the homophobic, transphobic behavior from his brother? If you say that you accept Ben for who he is, that means you need to be an ally and shut down the kind of hateful speech coming from his brother. Claiming neutrality always sides with the oppressor. So Ben knows now that you won't defend or support his relationship or his partner. I don't blame him for threatening to cut contact. Be better. YTA. Your son, James, is homophobic and transphobic. He is spreading rumors and trying to rile people up against Ben. You are upset that Ben is directly confronting James. But defending against bigoted attacks against your partner is something anyone should do. You not only didn't stay out of it, but you chastised Ben for defending himself and his boyfriend. You can't have it both ways. Either stop your sons from attacking each other or don't. YTA. Desmond Tutu said it better than I could. If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. If an elephant has its foot on the tail of a mouse and you say that you are neutral, the mouse will not appreciate your neutrality. Not picking sides is when there is no right side. Which is better, red or blue? There is no right answer. Being transphobic or racist or whatever does not deserve any support whatsoever. YTA. And a terrible parent. You picked a side, the homophobic side, and you act like you think you're neutral. Stop lying to yourself. YTA. You did choose a side. You know James did it to upset Ben. And by letting it happen under your roof, you condone the activity. YTA for reasons listed by everyone else, but also what are the ages of your sons? I feel like that adds needed context. I was under the assumption they were both minors. IDKY. Until the no visiting part. Edit. Grammar. YTA. Familiars of friends. Totally took my train of thought in a different direction. Anyway, familiars or no, you are complicit in your son's transphobia. Not saying anything is saying something. Ben needs support. You didn't give it. You're an asshole. YTA. One son is being viciously transphobic. The other is defending his boyfriend. There's only one correct moral choice here, and that's to support Ben. YTA. That wasn't an argument, that was one son being a transphobic, homophobic asshole and the other one trying to defend his partner. Also, if this isn't clear to you, I'll say it. Ben's partner is a man. A guy. A dude. Your son is dating another man. What is in his pants is none of your business. It's none of James's business. It's nobody's business, so mind yours. You should have drawn the line when your son outed someone without their permission. You should have drawn the line when he misgendered his brother's partner. You should have drawn the line when people refused to accept your son. But you didn't, and I don't blame Ben for never wanting to speak to you again. You've shown him the kind of person you are. I hope, and I say this with all the love in my heart, he never speaks to you or his shitty brother ever again. YTA. Ben was just defending himself from your transphobic son. YTA. This is why giving both sides of a debate equal weight is such a terrible take. When one son is trying to live his best life and be true to his identity, and the other is a rumor-mongering transphobe, you absolutely should be picking a side. Apologize to Ben. Tell James to GFTO with that nonsense. Or be ready to only have the worst son. YTA. Your son was openly and aggressively transphobic, and by doing 0 things you supported that. You openly allowed your son to spread transphobia in your household. Defending his partner and calling out transphobia in response to active and purposeful misgendering is not starting anything. It's standing up for his partner and not allowing transphobic attacks. Fix it, or you'll lose your son and it will be your fault for fostering that environment. James isn't rude, he's transphobic and homophobic. YTA. Raise your son better. You and your son James are both off. There are 2 kinds of evil in this world. People who do evil things and people who watch others do evil things and do nothing about it. Guess which one you are? James is clearly provoking Ben by slandering his boyfriend to his face. That is completely uncalled for, and you should have stopped that if you want to be supportive. How would James feel if Ben insulted his brother's partner? Do what's right and fix your relationship with Ben. YTA. Yes. Your kids are adults, so I guess you don't need to intervene. But you're still their parent, and what James said was very disrespectful. This is more than them arguing over something silly like, "Oh, you broke my whatever." Quote. This is about your son being transphobic and showing no support or respect for your other son and his partner. You should be taking it to heart that your son who you raised is being so cruel. And yes, you should be saying something. But I have a feeling you don't, because you are also transphobic. I expect Ben will go his own way soon, since your support as a family sounds fleeting. YTA. You're letting one of your children bully the other. That's not okay. YTA. Stop this sitting on the fence garbage. Either support him or don't. You can't remain in contact with people who don't support him and see him as an abomination. But say you support him. You can't sit there and watch James make transphobic comments about Ben's BF and say you support him. Ben's insults didn't worsen the situation. Your complacency in the situation did. Your refusal to choose sides when James is being blatantly homophobic and transphobic is showing Ben that you care more about keeping the peace than him feeling safe and accepted. Stand up for Ben. Tell James he should be ashamed of the way he treats his brother, and you will not allow that sort of behavior in your home. You are going to end up losing Ben completely if you don't decide to give him your full undivided support. YTA. One son started it by being a transphobic POS. Invalidating the boyfriend's gender. Ben just defended himself. YTA. Your son purposefully misgendered your other son's boyfriend because he's transphobic, on top of previously informing everyone of his transgender status, which could have become very dangerous for your son's boyfriend. I hope you realize. Ben did not throw the first punch here. James did. And instead of doing something that might be harder for you, i.e. scolding James and setting boundaries with him to create a safe environment not only for Ben, but his partner as well, you instead say Ben started it, and claim to take no side. But claiming to be neutral just means you're siding with the oppressor, James, as you're not willing to stand with or back up the oppressed Ben and partner. Show Ben your support and tell James if his comments don't stop you'll have to go low contact. You need to protect your child that is being hurt by your other child.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.